Hi, my name is Zed, and I've been at KCC since 2020. And one thing I've learned is kingdom principles work. I used to drive trucks for a living, and in 2021, I got into a nasty accident, and that took away all of my income. And from that moment, everything just spiraled down. I couldn't pay my bills. I had no income at all. So I tried different jobs, and they just didn't fit. The first job, wasn't paying nearly half of what my monthly bills. Then I tried a second job, which was a mile-to-mile delivery, and that sufficed to a certain extent, but I still had a whole lot of debt, and I could just manage what I had at that moment, but my debt was accruing, and by that time, I was almost $45,000 in debt. And while I was doing that, I then heard Pastor saying, your gifting will make a way for you. And I sat down and I said, okay, I'm a graphic designer and I believe I'm great at it. So why don't I, take advantage of it? So I did a class and I got my certification about 6 months later, and I started applying for jobs. And while I was applying for jobs, Pastor then came back again and, and in all this he doesn't know, and he then, preaches about faith. Now faith is, if you're believing for something, believe for that one thing. Why have a plan B, C, D? That means you're not in faith for plan A. And at that moment, I'm on plan 100 because I've applied to 100 jobs. So I then sat back and I said, you know what, let me stop. The word says, a good man's steps are ordered by the Lord. So I just said, God, where would you have me be in this season? What would you have me do? And a few weeks later, I then get a call from a recruiter, and they saw my resume, and it said, I'm a Christian. That's the first thing that's on my resume. And they say, you'll be a perfect fit for this job, and we'll set you up if you're interested. And that job, I'm there now, and it's so awesome. It pays great, exactly what I was asking for, and it's more than I imagined. A few months later came Pastor's anniversary, and at that time we were given $2,000, but I believed if I gave out of my lack, God would give me a harvest out of that. And a few weeks later, my boss came to me. He says, I know you're believing for something, and my wife and I heard from God, and he said we should give you $2,000. Then I knew that my faith was working because I gave and I got my seed back. So beginning of 2023, as our theme said last year, being debt-free in 2023, I was believed for that. I believed for being debt-free, and I started giving. I kept on giving out of my lack, and I was giving and giving. By the end of the year, I had given more than I'd ever given. A few weeks ago, I went to check my mail, and there was just two pieces of mail in there, just 2 envelopes, and one of them was something I didn't expect. I opened the mail up, and it says debt cancellation. So then I sent it over to my DP, and I said, sir, can you help me understand what this is? And he says, yep, one of your debtors canceled your debt. And that's when I knew that was the beginning of my debt freedom. And I sat back down with him, and he says, okay, look, so you've got this and that, how about you take that, pay off all your debt? And I did exactly that. And a week later, I then get, a bonus from work. And that bonus managed to also put me in a surplus, and I also managed to sow again into my man of God, and also put money aside for, into my savings and stuff. So as of today, I am debt-free. Glory to God. So if you're believing for debt freedom, firstly, believe and trust in God, and then listen to your man of God, and then trust the discipleship model, because it works, and you will reap the harvest. You benefit of it immensely. And then lastly, sow.